This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
First at 11, we are getting a break from the rain right now, but another round of storms is moving towards central Indiana. Good evening to you here at 11 o'clock. I'm Mark Mullins.
And I'm Amanda Starantino. Let's get right to meteorologist Kyle Mounds helping you prepare for the day ahead. Kyle.
Yeah, Mark and Amanda, we are getting that break right now, but you can see there are still some active radar returns out there, especially northern portions of the state, and then as we look back into northwestern portions of Illinois. So we are going to stay in a fairly active pattern, but I think for the most part tonight, the storms are going to be staying north of our area, so shouldn't really have any rumbles of thunder waking you up. As we get into tomorrow morning, that rain getting a little bit closer, so as we go through the morning hours, we will have the return of some showers and thunderstorms. Temperatures right now, they are still very warm. In fact, you're still in the 70s in Bloomington at 72, at 67 in Indianapolis. Heading out the door in the morning, you are going to need that umbrella. We'll have some scattered showers and storms. Temperatures starting off in the middle 60s, but we could have some stronger storms tomorrow afternoon. More on that in a few minutes.
Heading out the door. Thank you, Kyle. We'll see you soon. As restaurants, retailers, and salons slowly get back to business in most parts of Indiana, fitness facilities are still on hold. Gym owners are not exempt from feeling the burden on small businesses created by the COVID-19 pandemic. And while the services gyms offer cannot be supplemented by carryout or shipping, RTV6's Cameron Riddle shows one personal trainer has come up with alternatives to keep clients moving and in shape.
Thanks to coronavirus, it's been a long 3 months for personal trainer and gym owner Mike Ford.
It's kind of brought it to a complete stop since February.
To get by, he's been meeting with his clients one-on-one outside of his facility.
But the bad part about that is I still pay for the facility, like lights, the basic utilities.
Meeting off-site has been a temporary solution to help his clients stay in shape while he tries to pay bills and remain socially distant.
We would meet in Lawrence Park and just run up and down the hill. If it's 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, it's just me and them. There's nobody else around.
Being safe and sanitized is top of mind for Mike Ford and his staff. He says the gym has been sanitized from top to bottom and believes constant cleaning and smaller groups of people should make customers feel safe about resuming classes inside, especially in a smaller gym like his, where the limit is 25 people compared to larger gyms that can hold far more customers.
Compared to a LA Fitness or a Lifetime, Planet Fitness, it's just because you don't want to be around that many different people coughing and, just their sweat, picking up something that was already wet, So I think by being in a smaller setting like this, it's just you and your trainer. So the risk is very minimal.
In Indianapolis, Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
Well, under Governor Holcomb's reopening plan, gyms in most parts of Indiana are scheduled to be allowed to reopen at half capacity on May 24th. It is still not clear when Marion County will allow its gyms to reopen.
And the coronavirus pandemic has led to a decline in donations beyond food and money. The Rebound Indiana is connecting you to ways you can step up and help Hoosiers in need. One item that could make a huge difference for families is breast milk. RTV6's Cornelius Hawker explains why it's so important to premature or sick infants and how an organization is stepping up a safe way to safely donate.
Nicole Geist, a mom of 2 who gave birth to her youngest 6 weeks ago, was making more than enough breast milk, so she decided to donate some.
I am a pediatric nurse, and I've seen firsthand what the donated milk can do for those vulnerable babies that we care for.
Research has shown breast milk is incredibly beneficial to babies. This list from the CDC shows it lowers their risk of several diseases throughout their lives. And breast milk has something formula milk doesn't.
It has antibodies. So it gives the babies passive immunity through antibodies in the breast milk from mom.
Those antibodies help babies fight viruses and bacteria. That's why the Milk Bank is hosting a milk drive to help babies who need this milk the most. Before you show up, you need to pre-register, and once they have your contact information, they'll get in touch with you to set up a time.
There's some paperwork, some questions, some lab work that you have to do, but it's not It's not too hard.
Because of the pandemic, donors will have minimal contact with staff members. Donors wait in their cars until they're called, and everything is sanitized before and after to keep things as safe as possible.
It was really fulfilling for me to donate and know that I was helping a baby in need.
For anyone who finds themselves in the same position as Nicole, she encourages you to think about donating your breast milk.
When you know that you're helping someone else, it just feels really good, and especially right now with everything going on.
Working for you, Cornelius Hawker, RTV6.
And the milk drive is this Monday, May 18th from 10 to 1 at Hancock Health Gateway Services in Greenfield. For more info on how to pre-register, go to theindychannel.com and click on this story.
There's also a big need for donations of diapers and other items for babies born behind bars. The Indiana Women's Prison is home to the Officer Breanne Leith Memorial Maternal Child Health Unit. The program is for pregnant offenders who have short sentences. Leaders say donations have slowed dramatically during the pandemic, so they put out a call for help. And the community has come through in a big way.
We're just so incredibly thankful that in the midst of such a trying time, when everyone feels so stressed and just so hassled by everything that's going on, to see people really give of themselves and of their time and their energies for someone else is really touching.
The program was recently named after fallen IMPD officer Breanne Leith, who was shot and killed in the line of duty last month. She also served as a correctional officer in the nursery. The unit still needs donations. For more information, you can go to theindychannel.com and just click on this story.
RTV6 continues to check in with Indiana's unemployment system to make sure it's working for you as it should. And some people who filed for benefits back in March are still waiting. Richard Clark was a driver for Enterprise. He says he has not been able to work since St. Patrick's Day and filed for unemployment on March 26th. Clark tells us his online portal shows an issue with deductible income, and a claims investigator is supposed to call him.
Sometimes I never get a call back. And then when I do get a call back a couple of days later, or maybe early evening, they said, we're going to be taking care of that for you. And nothing's happening. I'm just wondering when I'm going to start getting some money. And I mean, it's pretty hard going to the grocery store and not having any money to pay for it with.
A spokesperson says the Department of Workforce Development has hired an additional 160 people to work in its call center and tripled the number of claims investigators. The deductible income error message is so common. There's a video with more information on the department's website. You can find a link to that on our website at theindychannel.com.
It's definitely a big relief. I'm very excited that we're open.
Some people are returning to work from furlough as Stage 2 of Indiana's Back on Track plan moves forward. Restaurants in most counties were allowed to reopen this week. Bo Thomas worked as a server at Smoky Bones in Greenwood for about a month before the dining room closed due to COVID-19 restrictions. Occasionally, he was called in to help with carry-out orders and also helped clean the restaurant ahead of Monday's reopening. Now, Thomas says he's excited to serve customers face-to-face again, even if his face is covered with the mask.
First day, we had a lot of our regulars come in, and just after that first shift, it was like, all right, we got this, we're getting through this together.
The general manager asks for patience from customers. She warns people could have to wait for tables on the weekend due to the 50% capacity restriction. There is also a new sanitizing procedure that takes several minutes.
Now to the latest on the toll the pandemic is taking on Hoosier lives. According to the latest update from the State Department of Health, 1,508 people in Indiana have died from COVID-19. More than 26,000 people have tested positive. More than 160,000 people have been tested altogether here in our state. Around the U.S., more than 85,000 people have died from COVID-19. And as ABC's Marcy Gonzalez reports tonight, there are new concerns about the accuracy of a coronavirus test used across the country.
A new alert from the FDA raising questions about the accuracy of one popular test used to diagnose COVID-19. The agency saying the Abbott ID Now point-of-care test, believed to be the same kind given to White House staff and visitors before they interact with the president, may return false negatives. The FDA noting that the studies have limitations and the tests, which are being researched further, can still be used and can correctly identify many many positive cases in minutes. With COVID-19 cases still on the rise in some areas, at least 45 states have now eased restrictions, with 3 more states following suit on Friday. In hard-hit New Jersey, some beaches and boardwalks reopening this weekend. And in Wisconsin, some bars and restaurants are packed after the state Supreme Court struck down the governor's stay-at-home order.
If they don't feel that it's good to come out yet, more to them, but I hope they respect my feelings on I would like to come out and I would like to start getting the economy going again.
The CDC now out with new guidelines with specific guidance on reopening safely, saying restaurants should encourage social distancing and offer flexible leave for employees. Also recommending that schools and camps that reopen should stagger drop-offs and limit how often kids are together in groups. But in Washington state, some hairdressers petitioning to delay reopening out of concerns for their safety, as some experts continue sounding the alarm about the virus's spread. Dr. Rick Bright, who says he was forced out of his role leading the government's search for a vaccine, testifying before Congress as a whistleblower.
Without better planning, 2020 could be the darkest winter in modern history. We still do not have a standard, centralized, coordinated plan to take our nation through this response. Time is running out because the virus is still spreading everywhere.
Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And Metro Police say an officer is suspended and reassigned for comments he made at the scene of a deadly shooting. The comments were heard on Facebook Live after an IMPD officer shot and killed 21-year-old Drejon Reed on May 6th. Reed was streaming live on Facebook as he led police on a chase. It continued streaming after he was killed. Investigators say Reed exchanged gunfire with officers as he ran away. Last week, IMPD Chief Randall Taylor described the comments as unacceptable and unbecoming of the department.
The COVID-19 billing and medical debt is going to be a nightmare.
Coming up, what to do if you get charged for a COVID-19 test that is supposed to be free.
And how a major Central Indiana food bank is getting help to deliver fresh, healthy food to people in need. You're watching RTV6 News at 11.
From Honda.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Under the Federal Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act, COVID-19 tests are required to be covered by insurance companies. But many Americans are still getting billed. Scripps reporter Chris Conte finds out why and shares steps you can take to make it right.
Long before an epidemic swept across the globe, Anna Davis-Abell was already spending her days trying not to get sick. She is 25 years old and has been living with lupus for most of her life.
The way that everyone feels right now is like the way that it always feels to live with a chronic illness.
It was early March after returning home from a trip that Anna started feeling sick. Even after taking a terrifying trip to the doctors, Anna was told there were no tests in the state of West Virginia where she lives. And then the symptoms got worse.
I was going from being super sweaty to like really cold. I developed a cough probably on like the 3rd or 4th day.
Initially, she was diagnosed with the flu. When that didn't get better, she was eventually given a COVID test, a test that under federal guidelines was supposed to be covered by her insurance company. Imagine her surprise when a bill for $536.46 showed up in the mail.
I think it shows, unfortunately, that at the end of the day, it's the healthcare industry that's not first about health.
So what's happening here? The CARES Act mandates that insurance companies cover COVID-19 tests, but many Americans are finding out there are loopholes. Sometimes insurance companies bill them incorrectly, or in Anna's case, she got a test before the law went into effect.
Most people, when they get a medical bill, they're frustrated, they're angry, but they don't really know anything that they can do about it. And I feel like that's what the insurance companies are really relying on.
The COVID-19 billing and medical debt is going to be a nightmare.
Craig Antico is the founder of RIP Medical Debt. His concern is that many of us will just assume COVID tests are covered and then months later find bills in the mailbox.
People aren't going to start feeling the pressure of paying these bills until almost a year from now.
As for Anna, after she called her insurance company multiple times, they forgave the charges.
As the discourse moves past the initial fears that we had, there's going to be less pressure on the insurance companies to be held accountable.
Accountability so that patients aren't suffering any more than they already are. I'm Chris Conti reporting.
And if you think you've been charged incorrectly on a medical bill, do not ignore or forget about it. Ask for an itemized copy of your bill so you can see and evaluate each charge individually. You might find more errors. Then contact your insurance company to try and resolve the problem. As a last resort, consider filing a complaint with the State Insurance Commission.
Gleaner Food Bank, the mission is to help people make ends meet. It's especially important during this pandemic, and now the organization will be able to deliver more fresh and healthy food to people in need. The nonprofit group, the Conservation Fund, has awarded Gleaners a grant to improve its ability to store and transport fruits, vegetables, dairy, and other perishable food. Leaders say with many people relying on Gleaners as their only source of food, providing healthy options is critical.
Our distribution volumes are up more than twice of what they were before the COVID crisis. Some of our distribution points, including ours here on site today, are receiving 4 or 5 times the number of people that need food assistance. So we need to be able to continue to source good food, healthy food, nutritious food for them and get it to them as effectively as we can.
The money will help finance things like mobile markets and refrigeration units. The Conservation Fund is dedicated to finding solutions that balance environmental and economic needs. And Keller Williams Realty is working together with the community to help get people the food that they need. The location on 116th Street in Fishers hosted a Fill the Truck event today. Donors and volunteers braved the rain to drop off and collect items that will go to local food banks.
The reason we chose to do a food drive during this time was we felt that it was the greatest need. So what we were looking at our community and saying, what can we do? What do they need? And the food banks were really, really low here specifically in Hamilton County.
So if you're struggling to afford groceries during this difficult time, you're not alone. School districts, indie parks, churches, and many other groups and organizations are offering free meals to the community. For more information, search our website at theindychannel.com.
Now to the forecast. The left side of your screen is what it looked like outside this afternoon. Windshield wipers were on and umbrellas were up. The right side is the live look outside now. You can see we're getting a break for the rain, but how long will it last? Storm Team 6 meteorologist Kyle Mounds joins us now. I mean, tonight was gorgeous. You could have dinner outside, and it was wonderful.
Yeah, very nice out there tonight now that the rain has moved out. The rain chances are going to be with us each of the next 3 days, but we are going to have some breaks, and that break immediately behind the rain today in Marion produced this beautiful rainbow, thanks to Dan Gadberry for sending in a bright spot in an otherwise stormy afternoon in much of central Indiana. Things are quiet. We've got our temperatures still sitting in the 60s in Indy and Kokomo with those skies clearing out a little bit. Bloomington at 72 very mild degrees. You know, we have had struggles with our high temperatures getting into the 60s, and tonight we'll actually find those overnight lows in the 60s. That'll come with some of those clouds, but there are the thunderstorms. Again, expecting those to largely stay north of our area with a low of 64 in Indy and Lafayette, 65 tomorrow morning in the Bloomington area. And as we go throughout the day tomorrow, again, we're going to have some periods of rain and thunderstorms. I think it will be a little more numerous than what we had today. By 9 a.m., see that line of thunderstorms knocking on the door for you there in Crawfordsville, already moving through Lafayette and into the Rockville area. As we get toward noon, some fairly widespread rain, some pockets of moderate rain not out of the question. And then as we get into the afternoon, actually developing another band of thunderstorms. But the question is going to be how widespread is that rain in the morning and how much sunshine can break out behind it. If that does happen, we'll get a few more of those storms that could have a bit of a punch with them as we go into the afternoon. That's why there is that marginal risk from Indianapolis and areas southeast tomorrow, but some of those storms could have some gusty winds with them. Temperatures still going to be mild, just not as warm as today. We were close to the 80-degree mark in Indianapolis. Tomorrow, the lower 70s. It will be a little breezy. Your high 73 in Danville and Muncie, as well as the Columbus area, 75 in Bloomington. So feeling very spring-like. We'll keep those mild temperatures into the weekend. Lower rain chances on Saturday. Looks like that will be the pick of the weekend. And then on Sunday, we've got more rain and storms in the forecast. This area of low pressure with the storm system will start to move off to our south and east as we go into early next week, and that's actually going to bring in some cooler air in the 7-day forecast. Highs are back into the 60s as we look ahead to Monday and Tuesday, with things starting to dry out a little bit. The sunshine will come back here for the middle of next week as temperatures rebound. Our highs are back in the 70s.
My first concern was, am I essential? And when I would ask several different people, they're like, heck yeah, you're bringing me joy.
Coming up, we all scream for ice cream. A Central Indiana shop is helping customers adjust to this new normal by providing a familiar treat.
I'm Dave First with another RTV6 Senior Salute honoring the outgoing spring sport athletes. We head to Pike High School, meet golfer David Russ, the team's most improved player, shaving 20 strokes off his game since his freshman year. A two-sport athlete, he also plays tennis. Cameron Duggar placed 4th in the county tournament last year and a regional qualifier as well. And when they're not doing that, they make some of the best quarantine videos on the internet. Don't try this at home. This is graduate level stuff. Good luck to both. I'm Dave First with another RTV6 Senior Salute.
Just search RTV6. This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Well, ice cream socials are not the same in this time of social distancing, but RTV6's Brad Brown shows that's not stopping a popular shop in Fortville from serving up scoops, shakes, and sundaes.
On most occasions, ice cream just tastes better outside.
People love ice cream. I love ice cream. And it's been fun to come up with like different themed shakes, and the creativity behind it, I really enjoy.
At Libby's in downtown Fortville, they're getting the scoop on sidewalk service.
It's been crazy. Like every day it was a different thing. So furniture was moving, walls got painted, you know, we did some upgrades, but is the door open? Is the door closed? You know, it's just every day unknowing, and everybody asking us what we were going to do and not knowing what we were going to do.
With a spot right in the middle of Fortville's Main Street, Libby's Ice Cream and Gifts has become a gathering spot for young and old alike.
People would come in and sit, and we became family because we talk. Now we didn't have that. They would call on the phone. So we learned to stand 6 feet away and talk through the windows or talk with a crack in the window. And we just changed. We morphed. We made it work.
Curbside and outside service has been a big adjustment, but Libby's crew continues mixing up the same tasty shakes, cones, and more.
My first concern was, am I essential? And when I would ask several different people, they're like, heck yeah, you're bringing me joy. And so that made me feel better.
And there's no shortage of fun with this group. How about some dino delivery? Libby's T-Rex has been helping get ice cream to local merchants and drive-up customers. A good dose of smiles with those sundaes.
It's wacky, but it makes people laugh. It's been a great experience to realize that I'm in a village that is really here to support us.
Working for you in Fortville, Brad Brown, RTV6.
All right, thanks, Brad. Just this week, Libby's reopened for carry-out service. The shop is still offering curbside pickup as well. We'll be right back with more of RTV6.
For just $1, only at Hardee's.
All right, we'll have some more rounds of rain and thunderstorms tomorrow with highs in the 70s. We'll continue that theme into the upcoming weekend, and then we'll start to dry it out a little bit heading into next week.
Warmer temps look nice. Thanks for making RTV6 your choice for news. GMI starts at 4:30. Have a good night.